Hi YouTube. This is Megan, aka Hi YouTube. This is Megan, aka Spirit Street. Today is Friday, and I thought I would just go live, get this up to you guys really fast, and yeah, and that would be it. So I'm probably not going to have it be super long or anything, but I thought, why not? Just get this up to us. Yeah, I'm so excited this week. We're doing book reviews. It's something that I know that early on in the channel, there was book reviews. So I have not really had a chance other than reviewing just specific authors and things like that. I haven't had a chance to kind of talk about some of my favorite books. So I really loved that we were able to include fiction books this time around. So I'm super excited. So yeah. So I also did a little something different with my hair. Hopefully there's enough light. I don't know if, maybe if I sit over here, there's more light. So yeah, so did something a little different with the hair. Actually, if you were following Pagan Perspective, if you're an OG, then you will know that back in the day when I initially auditioned, I had red hair. So now I'm back to that, and yeah, so it is review time. So I thought that I would start with sort of the pagan-y books, right? So the first book I have 4 books I want to talk about. So I know it's a lot, but I thought this would be good. So the first book I want to talk about is, oh man, it's going to be backwards, isn't it? Well, anyway, it's Scott Cunningham's The Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs. This book, let me tell you, I love this book. This book, what I love so much about this book, let me start with that, is it feels very old world, and that it gives you, and I know it's going to be backwards and I apologize, but it gives you drawings of each of the herbs. And it also goes into the different, let me do one that you guys might know more. So like, oh, one of my favorite ones, it's already dog-eared, but Golden Seal, right? And so it'll go into, it has its Latin name, folk names. And this is one of my favorite parts, is that it has a huge list of folk names. And that's really helpful when you're looking into old herbal remedies for things, because the old herbal remedies for things, they oftentimes would include the folk names, and they wouldn't include anything more than just the common folk name that they were using. And that was really difficult for, if you're looking back, because Golden Seal has what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like 12 different folk names here. And I'm sorry, but I wouldn't know that Golden Seal was also known as wild curcuma. So, oh, it's just blurry. Oh, I'm sorry, it's blurry. I wonder why it's blurry. It's not backwards, just blurry. I don't know why it's blurry. I'm sorry, Max. Hi, Awkward Witch. Oh, my hair looks awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. It was sort of new, fun adventure. Why not? And, you know, take it away. So yeah, I just know that there are so many folk names. And so for these purposes, when I'm looking up old herbal remedies and some of the old stuff, you know, it's talking like 1800 stuff, it really is helpful to be able to have a resource that I can go. And now it does take some time because obviously the folk names are not alphabetized. But as you read through, you get to start to learn about them a little bit more. And it's just really, really helpful. So it also goes into, here's a good example, Eyebright. It'll give our folk name. Let's see if I can get it really close. Is that super blurry? So it gives a folk name, give the gender. It gives your planet. It gives your element. It then gives your powers, your magical uses. Okay. And what I like so much about this is it's just formulaic. So I know what I'm going to get each time I look up an herb. And what I also like about this is that this is for my magical stuff, right? I know things for my herbal remedies as far as for healing in terms of ingestion, right? What I love so much about this is it's all just magical. And so it doesn't, honestly, it doesn't take up that much space. So like eucalyptus is here, right? So I can get to all the herbs that I need pretty fast, but I can use those same common folk names, and then I can transpose that into my medical herbal stuff. So I really like that a lot. I'm a huge fan of this book. If you don't have it in your collection, have it. It's really just a necessary tool, I think, for everybody to have. So the second one, oh my goodness. Okay, so this one, you're probably going to laugh at me a lot because I have flagged a lot of the pages, but Pagans and the Law. Yes. This book, let me tell you, as you can see, I've used this book quite a bit. This book is invaluable. Honestly, it really is. If you are, concerned at all about your job, if you're concerned at all about having kids, family, marriage, any of that, wills, I think, and death rights. That's something that's really important to me. And so this book is just an invaluable resource. Just some of the things that you can, that it talks about is, child custody. That can be a huge one, right? It's going to talk also about your First Amendment rights and how that will apply. So I really recommend picking it up and having it on hand. It's super valuable. So those are my two kind of, they're not boring by any means, but they are definitely resource heavy, right? And then I thought I would do fun ones. So these are probably, now I have a couple of other favorites. So I'm a book nerd, a total book nerd. So this is by no means an exhaustive list, but I thought if we're talking pure fun, kind of with pagan themes, and I had to narrow it down to two because I was doing two sort of resource books. And so I did two fiction. These are my two all-time favorite books. Okay. Winter of Fire. Okay. And Dealing with Dragons. Now, this one is a standalone, but this one is part of a quad, and my favorite, it's the whole thing is my favorite. So it's whole, it's the Enchanted Forest Chronicles by Patricia C. Reed. And it's amazing. I'm going to go into it in a second. And then this is Winter of Fire. It's amazing by Cheryl Jordan. Winter of Fire, as you can see, this one is a library type copy. I got it off, I think, Amazon. It is not in print anymore. So you would have to order it like I did off of Amazon. It is so worth it though. Like, it is beyond worth it. This book, as a young girl, it was probably one of my absolute favorite things in the world. And now it's just amazing. And anyway, so which one should I start with? Should I start with Dealing with Dragons or Winter of Fire? Somebody let me know which one you want to start with. Hoping I'm going to pick. Sometimes there's a delay in the chat, so I don't know. Guys, have one you want me to start with? I'm going to give like a countdown. You could see 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'm going to pick. Okay, I'm going to do Dealing with Dragons first. So this one, okay, if you've ever seen Shrek, then you might know a little bit how this book goes. Basically, the idea is it takes the idea of the little princess being captured by the dragon and the damsel in distress, and it flips it on its head. And it is funny and witty and exciting all in one. And what I love so much about it is it has so many of the common tropes that you'll see in kind of fairy tales, right? And fantasy. And the woman that you see here, this is Princess Cimarine. And that is how I pronounce it. I'm sure I'm pronouncing it wrong, but that's how I pronounced it when I was little and when I was younger in my teens. And so it's just probably going to always be how I pronounce it in my head. And this is her dragon. Or well, actually I could say she's this dragon's princess. But this is Kazul, and Kazul is female, and Kazul ends up in a very high position of power, which is pretty awesome. And just the way that they go about their relationship is just amazing and fabulous and funny. And you'll be laughing, but you'll be excited. You won't want to put it down. It's just an awesome book. So I can't recommend this and the whole series. It's dealing with dragons, searching for dragons, calling on dragons, and talking to dragons are the 4 books. So can't recommend it enough. So in the last book, probably if I could only have like one book, I think, to read, like if I was going somewhere for a long time and I had one book, I might bring this one, just because every time I reread it, I learn something new. I pick out a different part. So the premise of this book, if anyone's read it, has anyone ever read this book before? I'd be interested to know. So basically, you're in a world very reminiscent in some ways of Handmaid's Tale, but also kind of, just post-apocalyptic. So post-apocalyptic world, you assume. And basically it's, the sun is blocked out. We can no longer have sun. So we burn coal and to keep warm because the whole world is cold. And they've got, the Quelled, which are basically a slave race. And then you've got the Chosen, which are the fancy, people who have all the money and all the power. And the Quelled are branded on their forehead with this special symbol that indicates that they are that caste. They are slaves, basically. Well, this young lady here, she gets chosen for a very, very important position to be a handmaid to pretty much the highest level in the land dude. And it's about her adventures, and it's about how she navigates that world and what she does with her own powers and her own special gifts. And it's amazing that kind of coming of age at the same time as coming into your power. And it's very female centric as far as the power goes, but there are a lot of male characters in it. It's absolutely beautifully written, I think, and I love it. So yeah, so that would be Winter Fire. Super, super awesome. I can't recommend it enough. If you ever liked The Giver, you'll like this one too. Written at a very similar time. So it's got a lot of kind of that sort of feel to it. But it has a beautiful message, scary sometimes, but also at the end, very hopeful, which I think is great. So, and then the last thing I want to say, because I wanted to make it fast today, but the last thing I wanted to talk about was not a book, but I did watch this recently on Amazon. So if you have Prime, you can watch it. It's free on Prime. And it's a movie called The Last Keepers. Oh my gosh, Pagan movie, crazy good movie. All right. There's moments where it's a little slow and you're like, oh, okay. But some Aidan Quinn, I don't remember her name. She was in Steel Magnolias. She played Clarice. I don't remember her name now, but Amazing, amazing actors in this film, like big name actors. Fabulous movie. It was basically, it's a modern day pagan family. And there's a little bit of powers thrown in just because it's fun and it's awesome. So anyway, so that would, I just can't recommend that movie enough. I thought it was really, really good. I was really impressed with it. So called The Last Keepers. So yeah, so those are my book reviews. And I think that's about it. Unless anyone has any like questions for today, I think I'm going to, bow out gracefully. It's warm here. So I'm going to go have some watermelon, I think. But yeah, so that would be it for today. And yeah, I think that's pretty short and sweet. Definitely recommend these books. Let me grab the other ones and these ones. So yeah, so check these out. They are amazing. They're awesome. Highly recommend. Yeah. And I will see you next week. Yeah. Next week, actually, it'll be the day before my birthday. So that'll be kind of fun and exciting. So, all right, guys, as always, blessed be and aloha.